Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and I'm sure from the title you guys can already tell what kind of video this is. And we are having a little baby, and as of today I am already 25 weeks and 5 days, I believe. So I'll be 26 weeks on Saturday, so I'm definitely more than halfway. I'm already 6 months pregnant. Soon I'll be heading into my 3rd trimester. When I first found out I was pregnant, I seriously thought this whole journey was gonna be forever and time was gonna go by so slow. But now that I am looking back at it, time has gone by so fast. I can't believe that we are already more than halfway. I am excited, scared, nervous, just all of like this mixed emotions on what it feels like to be a first-time mom. So I'm gonna backtrack a little bit and go to the beginning of August. That's when I found out I was having a baby. I had just passed my pharmacy technician license in the beginning of July, and we knew that after I was done with that, that's when we wanted to start having kids. I always keep track of my cycle. I always make sure that I know when my start date is, when my end date is, like if I'm like late or early. I always keep track on my phone just so that I'm aware. It was towards the end of July. I haven't started my period yet, so I took a pregnancy test just 2 weeks before I took the second one and actually had positive results. It was super negative. I wasn't sad or anything, because to me it was just like, if it happens, it happens. So 2 weeks later my sister was coming to town, so I knew I needed to take a pregnancy test just to be sure that I don't have a baby. So I waited for my regular day off on a Thursday, so that way when my husband's not home I could take a test. And that was the week that I was supposed to have my period. So that morning he gave me a hug and he gave me a kiss and he said, like, you haven't, started your period. And I just looked at him like joking, like, no, I have this week to, start my cycle. But I knew that morning I was going to take a pregnancy test as soon as he left to work. So my husband goes to work, I get up, and then I, get my test and everything ready. I sat it down, and literally within like the next 10 seconds, I peeped over and I noticed that 2 lines have popped up like right away. And I just kind of took a step back and thought to myself, like, holy crap, like, is it really positive? Like, am I sure? So my reaction to finding out I was pregnant, I just started laughing because it was negative 2 weeks ago, and why is it positive now? We literally just started trying like a month ago, and if it happened, it happened, and it happened so quickly. So I was just like, holy crap, like, I cannot believe that I have 2 positive lines. So that's how I found out I was pregnant. I also want to share how I told my husband that we were expecting. I wasn't planning to tell him until I was further along, but then my husband's the type of person where he knows if I'm not on my cycle, something's up. So there's no way I could have hid being pregnant from him for an entire 3 months. So I was trying to figure out a cute way to tell him that I was pregnant, but I'm one of those people where I don't like to put too much effort into things. I'm just very minimal, and he's kind of the same way too. He doesn't expect like, big announcements or surprises. He's just like, if you need to tell me something, just tell me. So I was like, okay, I only have 1 test, so I came back home and took another one just to be sure that it was like for sure positive. So I took another one again, and instantly it like popped up 2 lines. So I'm like, okay, it's for sure this time. And so my husband was coming home. I set up my camera, and he usually knows that if I set my cameras up like that, then something's kind of like off. So I had to lie to him like, hey, Lydia taught me like a trick, and I told her I would, do it to you so I can show it to her. So he's like, so why do you have your camera and your phone recording? I'm like, it's because I have to show her. So he goes, you better just show Lydia this. I'm like, yes, I'm just gonna show her. So I made him close his eyes, and I covered his eyes just because I didn't want him to peek. I'm like, you better not be peeking. I just took out my pregnancy test and just told him to open his eyes. And my husband is the type of person where he doesn't really have much of a reaction, so by looking at the video you're gonna feel like, okay, this guy has no like emotion and literally doesn't like look like he's happy that his wife is pregnant. But My husband's actually very happy, very excited that we're having a baby, and he always just looks like he's mad dogging everybody, but he's really not. So the video of his expressions might kind of put some people off and make them feel like, okay, like he's definitely not excited for a baby, but he very much is excited for his baby. So that's how I told him. I had my first appointment at the end of September because accordingly to my last cycle, I would have been 10 weeks by that time, and my doctor's office, they wanted to make sure I was at least 10 weeks before they saw me. So we scheduled an appointment at the end of September. So when I went in to go and get an ultrasound and see baby for the first time, I was actually measuring a lot smaller. I was measuring at 8 weeks and 3 days. So my OB actually pushed my due date 2 weeks later. This was the ultrasound that we got of our little baby, and it was just so crazy to hear the heartbeat because we weren't in denial, but we were just, I think, kind of still in shock that, you know, we're pregnant and we're so early on. And I know the first few weeks are definitely very like scary because anything can happen. So we just were very careful and didn't want to put our hopes up too much, just because we wanted to make sure that, you know, we got to the doctors, her heartbeat, and just be sure that everything was good. So after hearing the heartbeat, it just felt really surreal, like, oh my gosh, like there really is a baby in me. And she's like, we're just gonna check to make sure there's no other baby, that there's only one baby in me. So yeah, that was how our first ultrasound went. Thank goodness for the cold months and just being busy with work and our schedules, we didn't really get to see like our family. So I was able to just enjoy my first trimester of my pregnancy to myself without other people suspecting anything. We didn't tell our families until Thanksgiving because that's when we were gonna see everybody again. So we announced at Thanksgiving that we were having a baby, and we FaceTime my sisters, we FaceTime his sisters, and that's how we told our immediate family that we were expecting. So just very simple, no crazy baby announcement. It's just not really us. Thanksgiving weekend, I was already 20 weeks pregnant, so I was already halfway through my pregnancy already. I finally just did a social media post a couple weeks ago before Christmas on my Facebook and Instagram that we're having a baby. So that's how I told the rest of the world. I'm gonna touch base a little bit on my first trimester and how that went, and having COVID on top of that. It was just exhausting, and I was so tired from being sick and also being pregnant that I could barely eat. I had really bad morning sickness. Like every morning I would wake up and just puke and gag, and I couldn't really eat anything because everything just didn't sound good. If it didn't sound good, I didn't want to eat it, and everything just felt like it was so salty, and every food I thought of just made me nauseous. So I couldn't really eat. Like I would take a few bites and then that was it. And we were both so tired because I got COVID, my husband got COVID. We were both literally just two sick people who couldn't really do anything. We just slept most of the time. We were napping like 3 times a day. That's how tired we were. And on top of being pregnant and not being able to eat as much, I wasn't really getting much energy. Eventually, we both got better, and I was still experiencing a lot of morning sickness even after that. Definitely slept so much during my first trimester, and I felt so bad because I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't really cooking anymore because I didn't have the energy to cook, and everything just didn't sound good. So I had no idea what I wanted to eat. So I felt really bad, and I just told my husband, like, I'm so sorry that I'm being such a lazy wife right now, that I'm literally not making food for you, and the house is messy, and I'm just like sleeping all day. I just asked him if he was mad that I wasn't pretty much doing anything around the house. And then he said, like, no, like, I'm not mad because, you know, you're having a baby, your body is changing, and you need to rest as much as you can while you can, because, you know, if you're tired, just go to bed. He was like, it's fine, like, it's not a big deal. So I'm just so grateful that my husband's so supportive. He's so sweet. Now that I'm at like the end of my second trimester, I am feeling a lot better, but I still do get these random days where I just feel really crappy. I feel like nauseous. And when I go to bed, if I eat too much at night, or if I eat too close to when I'm actually going to be going to sleep, I get a lot of indigestion and a lot of that burning feeling right here, which is not a good feeling. It just feels so icky, especially when you're laying in bed and you just like feel everything like rise up. So I've definitely been more cautious of how much I'm eating before I'm going to bed and how close I'm eating to the time that I am actually going to be going to sleep to avoid that issue. That's pretty much how my first trimester has been going for me, and my second trimester. I am feeling so much better now, and I can't believe that I'm already going to be 26 weeks on Saturday. Like, we are almost to the third trimester, and I've been really enjoying this pregnancy. I've been just soaking in every little moment because I seriously thought this journey was going to feel like forever. But now that I'm this far along, I'm so sad that I haven't been able to capture as much as I wanted to. My goal was to try to record my whole pregnancy journey so I can look back. That didn't happen because I honestly, one, didn't have the energy, just felt really crappy, and again, I slept a lot, so I definitely wasn't really doing much. So I'm definitely gonna try to do my best to capture the rest of my pregnancy so I can look back and just remember this whole experience, because I am a first-time mom. Now that I have more energy, I'm able to vlog more, and I just want to capture as much as I can before baby arrives. And if you guys have any tips or advice or any must-have baby items that you think are necessary, definitely let me know. I am trying to keep things to a minimal because I have a very small house. I'm trying to avoid clutter, and if it's something that I don't need, I don't want to buy it. I'm definitely just trying to focus on my needs versus my wants instead of just buying everything thinking I'm gonna use it. When the time comes to that point, if I need it, I can buy it. So again, I am more than open to any tips or advice. I'm so scared of labor and delivery. You guys have no idea. I need to watch some videos so I can educate myself a little bit more on that, just so I can go in with a better mindset and better decision making. So again, any advice for a first-time mom, I am more than willing to absorb all of that information, because it's definitely different being an aunt and being a mom. So I just want to do a little bump update. Please excuse my pants. I'm wearing my husband's sweatpants because it's the only thing that's comfortable, that's not so tight around my belly. I am 25 weeks and 5 days today. I'm definitely carrying a lot lower. I've noticed that my belly goes down more versus upward. So yeah, this is what my belly looks like as of now, and I know it's only gonna get bigger, and it's starting to get a little heavy, especially when I go to bed. I notice that when I'm trying to turn at night, especially on my left side, I could definitely feel the weight of my belly. So I am still sleeping on my back just because that's my comfort. I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video, and sorry I've been gone for quite a bit of time. It was much needed time off to kind of soak in this new life-changing moment for me and my husband. If you enjoyed this video and want to see the rest of my pregnancy journey, definitely subscribe, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye everyone.